Hello, this is Vittore Baroni from a corner of my own mail art archive and speaking about decentralized congresses. What is a decentralized congress? The idea came out of Switzerland in the mid-80s from Günther Ruch and Hans Rudi Fricker, two veteran networkers, who had this concept of organizing meetings between mail artists to think about the theory behind mail art and what could be done and the community spirit of mail art. And as it would have been very difficult, very expensive for most mail artists to travel long distances to meet in New York or any other single town where this congress should have been organized. The idea was that throughout a whole year, throughout 1986, whenever two or more mail artists met with the concept of speaking about the network, that would have been a decentralized congress. And the concept was very successful. There were here is written on the cover of this catalog documentation that was produced by Günther Ruch in '87. About 80 different mail art congresses took place in 1986 in different countries with lots of participants. And so the concept was very successful from the beginning. So after 6 years, in 1992, Fricker thought it was time to organize a second worldwide congress. This time the focus was not just on mail art, but the name of the congress was 1992 Networker Congress, so any kind of creative networking could be part of it. And my friend Pier Mario Ciani designed coordinated graphics for the whole year of congresses. As you can see, there was even a stationery with different addresses for people, headquarters in different countries of people who cooperating in organizing the congresses, and then of course leaflets, rubber stamps, postcards, even a special issue of my mail art magazine Arte Postale with the vinyl single in it with Let's Network Together, a hymn to be played before every congress session began, and a whole lot of stickers distributed in hundreds of copies so that authors could use them to promote the congress, but also to make performances like this one you see here, or this big sticker you could write your name on it, so you could it was joking on what happens in the normal congresses of people having the name in front. Here is from Poland, Andrzej Dudek-Dürer and me doing a small congress here in Viareggio. Here you can see in Switzerland Mark Pousson, Fricker and friends, and there's even a flag designed by Pier Mario with the notorious logo of the 4 arrows that make up a envelope, and this flag was circulated between congresses. When it was used in a congress, would be mailed to the next one, and so on. Here you see Fricker with the pole, with the pointing in 4 different directions, but always networker congresses on it. A T-shirt with the same image, and this is the big chronology catalog that Peter Kaufmann in Switzerland produced at the end of the year, with reports from really over 100 different congresses and a lot of smaller publications, more postcards, booklets with statements from networkers, and other smaller publications produced in relation to the various congresses, or posters like this big one. So the 1992, the second big year of decentralized congresses, was really even more successful than the first one. So what happened next is I realized there was a 6 years gap between the first and the second decentralized World Congress. So when other 6 years passed in 1998, I thought, why not try to revive this concept? And I launched a project called Incongruous Meetings. This time not just congresses, no more congresses, but meetings as a sort of homage to Ray Johnson's, who had passed a few years back, and the meetings of his New York correspondence school. So every time during the year 1998, 2 or more networkers met to talk about incongruous concept that would have been a congress. And I sent out invites to this more surreal approach, and many people did participate. This is a big, giant collective postcard that was made at an exhibition of Ray Johnson in New York with the cooperation of the sticker dude, Joel Cohen, who also provided stickers that were included at the end of the year in these small booklets, who function as a catalog, a documentation of the Incongruous Meetings project. There were anyway dozens of meetings, incongruous meetings throughout the planet in that year, and even a cassette supplement was produced with several songs like Kate Bates' Incongruous Rendezvous, a song he made, a very nice one, speaking about people meeting. And these are a VHS tape and a lot of audio cassettes with the reports from the various congresses, and of course also a lot of mail. You see the logo was a human hand and an alien hand touching, so a sort of incongruous meetings. Then other 6 years passed, and another project was launched. This time it was called Obscure Action, and the concept was that every time 2 or more networkers met to make an anonymous installation or artwork in any kind of strange place, obscure place, an obscure action would happen, and people were encouraged to send reports of their obscure action. And there was this bulletin, Fosgenia, which was produced in 150 copies, 4 issues throughout the year, documenting all these obscure actions. And each bulletin also included surprises like a CD with audio material or postcards, and these are some of the stickers and logos that were designed to promote the obscure action year. And here I kept some photographs of obscure action that I made here locally in Italy with friends. Like here in a square for Percy B. Shelley, the poet, I put in the ground a small book made of marble, all kind of strange esoteric action. So the myth of the Congress lived on. Every 6 years took a different form and was documented in a different way. In a chapter of my book Arte Postale, devoted to the mail art phenomenon, there is a chapter devoted to meetings and congresses. So this concept of the decentralized meeting continued to spread after the obscure meetings of 2004. In 2010, there was the campaign of art detox. There is too much art, too many artists, so why not put a white bag on our head when we enter a gallery or a museum, and try to detoxicate from art. This was the concept behind the decentralized project of 2010. Here you see a community feeling enhancer sheet with a lot of people wearing the bag on their head, and as always at the end of the year a small catalog was produced documenting what had been done in the name of art detoxification. This is a big yo-yo because at Anna Boschi's place near Bologna we organized a meeting where people were encouraged to create the biggest yo-yos in the world, and all kind of relaxing game was favored to art detox. There was a water football, a game of football played inside the water bowl promoted, or combing the dolls. There were meetings to comb dolls actually, and this is another form of documentation with the badges produced, all kind of t-shirts and other materials. And 6 years later, in 2016, it was time for another concept that was created with Claudio Romeo's stunning graphic coordination of Move Your Archive. The concept here was that male artists had been amassing their archives for over 50 years, and all this material was in danger of just getting wasted, rot, and be left behind. So we asked people to try and move their archive, to bring some life into their archive in all kind of ways. And once again, a lot of materials was collected, a lot of meetings, and we even tried to actually move the archive in my house. People were gathered, and we pushed one wall, trying to move at least for a fraction of a millimeter the whole building. You know, this kind of jokes and more serious projects were done, and a catalog at the end of the year was created in digital format, but also could be ordered in a print-on-demand format from the web. So, since 1986, every 6 years, a new decentralized congress has been organized, and 2022 is another congress year. So various email contacts have been exchanged between networkers worldwide, and with the graphic work of Claudio Romeo and input on the theme and the organization by several networkers, we have devised a very simple theme, which is simply called ART WAWE 2022, and the theme of this year's Congress is simply to save mail art from various dangers that we see. We have like big pharma, and we have big postal systems in many countries are making more and more expensive and difficult to mail out the kind of things that mail artists exchange between themselves. So mail art has become a sort of endangered species. But to save mail art, we also have to save the planet in some way. And we know all the dangers overhanging in these years of pollution and global warming and political turmoil, attacks on democracies. So very simply, The theme of this year's decentralized congresses is to propose ways to save the world and to save mail art at the same time. This can be seen from a humorous perspective or a very serious perspective or any point in between. These are postcards that have been prepared to promote this new Congress years, invites with all the details, pages of artist stamps that are being distributed right now, stickers, various stickers, rubber stamps, regional rubber stamp or general rubber stamps, these white postcards where anyone can propose a solution, save the earth, how, tax the rich or consume less, and so on. So really the Mail Art Wave Congress is a sort of umbrella, and each one of us can then organize as part of this general umbrella project his own Congress with his own specific theme. So I hope many people will cooperate. You will find out on Facebook the page devoted, a group page devoted to Mail Art Wave 2022, where you can post all your information or ask for more details. Thank you.